And now let's get some analysis on the unfolding situation. Joining me now is Mustafa Janer. He's an assistant professor of Iran studies at the Middle East Institute in Sakarya University. Mustafa, great to have you here with us on TRT World. See, in the past there have been reports that there are many differences between the IRGC and the Iranian leadership, and now it seems to me that a deal is about to be signed between the United States and Iran. So I want to understand, to what extent do you think there is consensus within Iran right now about signing this deal?
First of all, thank you, Jafar, for having me. Yes, it is a known fact that there are divisions inside Iran's administration. But we also know that the IRGC commanders tightened their grip on power lately, especially after the war erupted with the US and Israel. So actually that means that the president of Iran and other elected officials, they have been kind of sidelined from decision-making process, but they are not raising their opposition to that reality. This is wartime, and everybody is, trying to be careful about not, making Iran look a divided country. So yes, there are divisions, but at the same time, I think every faction inside Iran wants a deal, wants this war to end, and that's why I think we will not see any significant, disagreements over this memorandum of understanding from the Iranian side.
And Mustafa, we heard Marco Rubio say that Iran has reportedly agreed to ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz without tolls, and obviously you heard our correspondent there. There has been no final confirmation on that from the Iranian side. So, I mean, what's going on here? What's the future of the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, the question of Strait of Hormuz, Trump is saying that things will return to the pre-war status quo. And like you said, and your reporter said, Iran's Revolutionary Guards actually don't agree. So they have rejected this claim outright. And they said that Iran's unilateral control over the Strait of Hormuz will remain. Under these circumstances, we can only assume that the strait may reopen in a gradual, phased manner, but the conditions, the mechanisms for doing so still unclear. So in practice, actually every country, every state that has a stake in the region wants the strait to go back to its pre-war condition, because especially Gulf states, they find this unilateral Iranian control over the strait deeply problematic and disturbing, because Iranian control doesn't simply mean that collecting some economic transit fees, but it means a top-down transformation of the total security architecture of the region, and also conferring an asymmetric geopolitical power on Iran. So I think, and since it's an international waterway, if Iran insists on its unilateral control over the strait and tries to, write that down in the script, in the agreement, I think Gulf countries will be really uncomfortable with that situation.
Mustafa Janer, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much for joining us here on TRT World. Appreciate your taking out the time.